The richest country in the world is now asking all the other countries for help to feed their children because of the incompetency of the FDA and corporate greed. Hey everybody, it's Gabe with Rocket Shipping, and I've got a market update Monday for you. And today's topic is baby formula shortage. I found myself all last week hearing in the news that there was a shortage of baby formula, and I just couldn't figure out why that was happening. So I decided this weekend to do a deep dive. And so this video has supply chain implications, as you can imagine, and I may put out a separate video or do a written post about how it could be fixed if I could even figure that out. But this video is actually just going to be what happened, where it happened, why it happened, and what's being done to fix it for now. That way, if you have questions about baby formula shortage, this is like a quick synopsis. To start off, Abbott Labs is the largest producer of baby formula in the US, and they control 43% of the market share. Back in October and September of last year, they had some quality control issues, considering doing a plant shutdown, but they did not. In February this year, and actually late January, early February, there was reported cases. It was either 2 or 4 infants passing away from this formula, and it seemed to be linked to that. Abbott made the call very late to shut down the plant and do a recall of all formula. That is the main reason for the shortage that we're seeing today. The number one producer recalled all their formula from the shelves, and we had no plan to catch back up with that. Back in October 19th and 20th, there was a letter from a whistleblower who worked at Abbott Labs at the Detroit plant, and they sent a 34-page document to the FDA that detailed that they were not doing the proper cleaning and sanitization practices. They weren't testing for bacteria in the formula, heavy metals, all of those things. None of the procedures were being followed. The FDA did absolutely nothing with it. And there's a hearing this week. The congressmen and women are going to be grilling the FDA and asking about the chain of command and what happened there. This 34-page report was sent, and there was never a reply sent back to Abbott. Abbott is a $200 billion company, much more than just baby formula, and they have a lot of political power. I think the FDA tried to clean this up quietly off the record. The FDA never actually shut down Abbott. Abbott made the choice themselves in February, again, way too late, to recall the formula because it was linked to 4 deaths. The FDA, what the congressmen and women are calling it, is a dereliction of duty. They completely dropped the ball on this. Beyond just saving those babies' lives and the future babies right now, the formula that we have the shortage, maybe they didn't need to shut down that plant if they would have done it sooner, but they also could have been making a contingency plan for what happens if we shut down the number one manufacturer of baby formula in America. What happens then to our stocks? And there's 2 other large players. They could have gone to them and said, can you ramp up production? All of this was just completely bungled. To go into the details now of what happened with the 4 infants, 4 of them were hospitalized and 2 of them passed away, and it was actually linked back to a bacterial infection. Abbott's going to be under the microscope, and they're going to be completely liable for this. They knew about it in September. A whistleblower leaked it in October 19th and 20th, and then the FDA got the exact information they needed. The whole entire point of the FDA is to have oversight over our food supply and our drugs and our pharmaceuticals, and so that when there's things like this where there's quality control issues and they're told about it, they can step in and do something. Not only could these deaths have been prevented, this entire shortage could have been prevented if they had planned properly. The FDA is going to have to answer for the fact that they got a whistleblower memo of 34 pages saying they're not testing for bacteria, and then there's 2 deaths from this bacteria in baby formula. Without being political, this is another example of big government, FDA, did nothing to stop it. Big companies did anything they could to keep making profit until they absolutely had to shut down. And now, this is where I tie it into supply chain. The Flexport CEO, Ryan Peterson, actually had offered to sponsor any of the container shipments coming in to get the shortage fixed for now. We asked Europe, and Europe sent over a huge cargo jet full of formula. The richest country in the world is now asking all the other countries for help to feed their children because of the incompetency of the FDA and corporate greed from Abbott not being willing to do a recall sooner and make a contingency plan because profit was first, shareholders were first, and dividends and all of that stuff. Terrible. It's going to keep getting worse. The shortage is not going to be fixed in a day or a month. It's going to be a long time. I've got 2 kids of my own. They're not on formula anymore, but I can't imagine not being able to get formula for my kid. There's actually articles that you guys should go check out. Amazon on. The prices on the one tote is like $150 for a can of formula. Every store in Texas, they're all limiting how many you can buy. Imagine the toilet paper shortage. Put that to something that a baby needs to survive. Also, to put this in context for those of you who aren't aware, obviously there's breastfeeding and there's formula. If the mom makes a decision whether she can't produce milk or she's going to do formula regardless, once that decision's been made and the baby's 3 months old, they can't change their mind. They can't just go produce milk. And so now they have to have this formula. It's a tragedy that it happened. Now the question's going to be, and maybe you guys can help me out in the comments, how does the supply chain folks, how do the professionals like Flexport, C.H. Robinson, the big guys, J.B. Hunt, how are they going to fix this? How is private industry, similar to what happened in COVID, going to rescue America?